Hi everybody, welcome on my YouTube channel. Last year I posted some videos with some sort of orchestral music. Some videos were video clips, some others were coming from recording sessions. This year I have some more. So today I picked an excerpt from one of my favorite animation movie called Big Hero 6. The music of the movie was composed by Henry Jackman, and I decided to rescore one of the most heroic scene of the movie. It's called First Flight. Keep in mind that I only used VST instruments for this cue. It's all MIDI. I hope you guys won't blame me for that. So let's watch the excerpt first with the new cue, and then we'll go through the Cubase session. One last thing, I'm very sorry, but I didn't get the audio with the excerpt, so you won't hear all those effects during the scene. Let's just say that it's a good thing and you'll be even more focused on the music, right? Well, thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed the music. I won't go very far into this Cubase session, but there is some things that I wanted to talk about. Right after I picked this excerpt, the very first thing I did was adding some markers into my Cubase session, because I needed to see where was the very important things to catch. It's a 1 minute and 30 seconds excerpt, so it's pretty short, but I ended up with probably 12 to 15 markers. And all those things were very important for me, because I didn't want to miss anything. Of course, it's an action cue, so there is lots of things happening on the screen. As you can see, I don't have any markers left on my session. It's a terrible mistake from me. I probably erased those by mistake. Yeah, well, what can I say? I do some stupid things sometimes. So let's talk about the very beginning of the scene. As you can see, there is a very long shot from here to here. It's a long shot. Nothing is really happening. You can see them flying and you see the city in the back. But I thought it was the perfect moment to write the main theme. It could be the main theme of the movie. The main theme is mostly played by horns and trumpets. I'm gonna play you the main theme just with those instruments. So I would say that the very first line with the horns is like an introduction. Then the main melody starts with the trumpets. And then we get the answer with the horns. I think it's also played by other instruments like probably cellos, maybe more, I don't really remember. Here you can see that I have different horns A12, A9, A6, A2 and solo horn. And you can see that the very beginning is played by horns A12 and solo horn. In the real world, we wouldn't have 13 horns playing that. It's not necessary. We would have 4, maybe 6, 8 horns at the most. Not 8 actually, because I have another line with the horns. We won't have 13, that's for sure. It's just that this is MIDI, and for some reason, sometimes some sounds are better than others. I probably tried at first with A6 or A2, and it didn't sound big enough, just because it is VST instruments. In the real world, I would probably write this line for 4 horns, and I would write this little line right there for 2 horns, or maybe the 4 others if we got 8 horns, but definitely not as loud as the main one. Let's go to the second really important moment of the scene. When they do those loopings right there. And that, when the wind is blowing, it's just pure gold for a composer, because at least I want to put a huge chord, or in that case, major chord, just to sublimate that. So let's play that section again. And then we go to something smoother. Notice that there is some time signatures modifications here. I was actually very lucky because I didn't want to change the tempo, because it's always a nightmare for the players. All I did was changing time signatures, and it might look very difficult. It is not, because we come from 12/8, and there is some 6 and 9/8 there. So it's really not a big deal for good players. The third thing that I wanted to talk about is this little section right there. This section is very interesting to me, because that's one of the few shots where you can have a close shot. He's watching himself in the mirror, he's smiling, and you can feel like he doesn't really realize that he is flying. But that's enough, at least for a composer, to create some fantasy for just a few seconds. I wrote this little melody with clarinets, piano, cellos, and some synth. Here's the line. Well, welcome to MIDI land. Yeah, one of those instruments is definitely not in tune. Under this little melody, we have Celesta, harp, and a flute playing some ostinato. And then we have some delicate pizzicato on contrabasses, V2 and violas, with some sub bass as well. And last, we have the lead trumpet pretty much answering the melody. All those little ingredients, it creates a big contrast with what we had right before, because we had the whole orchestra with low brass, tuba, bass trombone, all the trombones, bassoons, everything. But suddenly it's very light, so pretty much everything needs to change. Last but not least, the very last section. It's in 4/4, we're not in 12/8 anymore. I just wanted something a little bit more modern. I would say that I tried to be in a John Williams mood before. Then we probably switched to something more modern with low brass, low everything, huge percussions. Before that, we didn't have lots of different percussions playing the beat. I tried to make it very rhythmical with other instruments. The use of the strings, the horns as well, some trumpets playing those very famous which is, of course, a John Williams thing. Now, the whole rhythm comes from the percussions. We got some low brass, low strings, and low winds to create those very massive sound. It needs to be very impressive and scary at the same time. Let's play only the orchestral instruments first, and then I will play you guys the rest and everything together. It's pretty big already. Now let's play the virtual instruments, percussions, sound design, and just for fun, I will add the orchestral percussions. And then everything. All right, that's it for today, guys. I wish I could spend hours talking about this cue. There is so many things, but it's hard for me to talk in English for hours and hours. And plus, I have so many other videos to do for you guys with the drums, jazz things. Some other orchestral music. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to answer you. See you soon.